Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel once again. If this is your first time stopping by, you are absolutely welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by. Just in case you're wondering who this beautiful face is, well, my name is Onyeka and I'm a Nigerian YouTuber based in London, Ontario, Canada. I basically make YouTube videos documenting my life experiences and my journey for you guys here. So please make sure that this is not the last time you get to see this face right here, and you can do so by subscribing to my channel. It's just right there. And when you do subscribe, make sure you click on the bell like button so that you get notifications whenever I post any videos at all. And I tend to post my videos on Saturdays, so stay tuned every Saturday morning for a new video from me. Don't forget to follow me on social media as well. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into today's video. So before I start this video, I'm just going to give a brief disclaimer that I am not an immigration agent or a licensed personnel. I just give out tips based off of my research and my knowledge. Let's get right into today's video. So first, we're going to start with the Federal Skilled Worker Program, and this is the same route that I used to obtain my PR. So before you decide which program works best for you, you can actually check your eligibility for express entry, and there's a minimum requirement for this program, which is your language ability, your education, and your skilled work experience. And you need to meet all of these minimum requirements before you become eligible for this program. You can check your eligibility by simply clicking on the link in my description box and answering a few questions to determine if you're eligible for this program. If you're not eligible for this program, then this stream is not for you. You also need to meet some other requirements, and these include your age. And once you clock the age of 30, you tend to lose points for age. So let's say you're 18 till like 29, you get the maximum points for age. And then when you're 30 and above, you tend to lose points the older you get. Mainly because Canada wants like an able-bodied workforce. You also need to meet the education requirements. You tend to get maximum points for your education if you have a PhD. And if you also have a master's degree or a professional bachelor's degree, you tend to get really high points as well. And some professional degrees that you can get that will give you really high scores: pharmacy, medicine, engineering, accounting, law, and so on. Basically the professional degrees you already know. And then if you have a master's degree, you get high points as well. But take note that PhD has the highest points. You also get to earn points if you have a valid job offer in Canada, but this is really hard to combine, so we're not going to talk about this. And you also get points for your English language speaking abilities or your French language speaking abilities. They tend to test you by taking the IELTS or CELPIP tests, but IELTS is the most common language proficiency testing. You need to get like a minimum of 7788. I'm going to list out the minimum requirements you need to get in each of the modules. And please note that if you're getting below 7 in any of the modules, it's going to drastically reduce your score. You need to retake the test and try to score better. I have a video on my channel where I talked about the tips in which you can use to obtain good scores in IELTS and how I did mine. So I'm going to link that up as well. Another way in which you can earn points is through skilled working experience. And by skilled work, I mean your job needs to fall within the NOC 0A or B category. NOC simply means National Occupation Classification. I'm going to leave a link to the list of NOC jobs, and for you to get maximum points, your job needs to fall under 0A and B. Take note. And most times professional courses like engineering, nursing, medicine, they all tend to fall within these categories. So if you claim points for any job in these categories, you also need to show your job description during your application that you perform the duties stated in that job under that NOC. I don't know if it makes sense. For example, I'm going to speak for myself. I claimed points for being a pharmacist, and my reference letter said that I carried out the tasks that a pharmacist usually does. And your skilled work experience needs to be within the last 10 years, and it has to be paid and full-time. You can also use internship, because I also claim points for my internship, so long as it's paid. And if your job is part-time, it needs to amount to 1,560 hours a year, which is the same amount you get for a full-time job of 30 hours per week in 1 year. Circling back to your language abilities, I forgot to mention that in as much as the website says you need to get a minimum of 7 in all modules, the higher you get, the more points you get. So try to aim for this point that I listed on my screen. You will get really high scores. And for your education, if you have a Canadian degree, either it being a university degree or a college degree, you also tend to earn points for this as well. And if you're internationally trained, you also need to do an educational credential assessment, and you can do this through WES. I'm sure most of you have heard about this, but if you go to the website, you see a link to all of these things, and I also try to leave it in my description box. You also need to show proof of funds, which should show that you can support yourself and your family when you arrive in Canada. And there is a price for each member of your family. For example, let's say you're coming as a single person, there's a particular amount you need to have, like the minimum. If there are 5 people in your family, there's a particular amount you need to have as minimum in your account. So be sure to check the website, because I'm going to have it linked in my description box. So if you meet all of these minimum requirements, the next step will be to apply, and you have to create a profile in order to enter the pool. And whenever they do a draw, so when you're in the pool, whenever there is a draw and your score is up to the cutoff mark, you get called. So let me explain. Let's say your score is 470, because when you check your eligibility, they tend to score you at the end. And let's say your score is 470 and they do a draw and they call people from 460 and above, automatically you get called to apply. And when you're being invited, you are to provide all of the documents that you claim points for. For example, you claimed you schooled in Canada, you need to bring your Canadian degree. You claim that you scored this and this in your IELTS, you need to show your IELTS results. You claim that you work as an engineer in this company, you need to show proof of your employment, of your previous employment in that place. So that's what I mean in a nutshell. So next, I'm going to be talking about the Provincial Nomination Program, also known as PNP. It's sort of similar to the Federal Skilled Worker Program, which I just talked about. And this program is for applicants who have the skills, the education, and the work experience to contribute to the economy of a specific province or territory. And you also have to live in that province if you choose this particular route for a particular number of years. Before you can get nominated, you need to apply, and whenever the province sees that you meet all of their requirements, they tend to nominate you. And then when you create your profile for express entry and they ask a specific question about, do you have a nomination from a province or territory? And then when you click yes, automatically you get a lot of points and you get to enter a different stream. And then you have to pass your police check and your medicals. And also take note that this particular stream, the application time may be longer than the regular express entry. So please note that in order to be nominated by a particular province, you need to check their website and contact them directly and apply. And also know that the criteria for each province and territories can vary without notice, so you have to keep checking and checking to stay updated. So the next stream I'm going to be talking about is the Canadian Experience class, and this stream is for people who have work experience in Canada, and I think it's like a minimum of 1 year work experience in Canada. For example, let's say I just graduated from school and I work for about a year plus, automatically I become eligible to apply for this program to become a permanent resident. Again, you need to have the minimum requirements in your language, your IELTS or your CELPIP language testing. I don't think you require to score high scores in your IELTS or CELPIP for this particular stream, because you already have a minimum of 1 year work experience, and that really helps your score. And please note that that 1 year work experience needs to be in the last 3 years. I know everything sounds like jargon right now, but I'm going to leave a link for you to do the reading, and it will all make sense when you read about it. Again, you need to note that your 1 year work experience has to be full-time or part-time, but it should amount to 1,560 work hours in a year within the last 3 years. And please note that you cannot use this stream if you are a refugee claimant, if you're working without authorization, and if your work experience was claimed without a temporary resident status in Canada. You cannot apply for this stream. And again, your work has to fall within NOC 0A and B. And there's no education requirements for this program, because it's just they're looking at your work experience. But if you think about it, most people that qualify for these streams are usually international students, because you immigrated here as a student, so you already have a degree. But it is not a requirement, it's just the work experience, minimum of 1 year. You need to get a CLB of 5 for your IELTS. So yeah, while for Federal Skilled Worker Program, you need to get a minimum of 7. So the next steps, you need to get your documents ready and apply. So I know that this may sound confusing and it's going to be hard for me to explain in details every stream, what it requires, but I'll try to make a dedicated video for each of these streams and explain to you better. But for now, I hope this is enough for you to get a basic understanding of how to immigrate to Canada aside the study route. So I'm going to end my video here. I don't want to prolong it because it's going to be very confusing. So if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to smash the like button. Even if you did not enjoy it, please like this video and then subscribe to my channel. Follow me on my Instagram. And yeah, guys, I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys for watching my video, and bye.